Now tell me about how you ended up becoming a guitar tech for some major acts when you first started doing that, and how that all came about.
I started getting into stage lighting when I was like 16 years old, in high school, dealing with whether it was a school assembly to whatever band might have played there, which they barely did, or, just anything to do with like stage lighting. And I got intrigued by it. My father had a friend who worked on a Broadway, God, what was that play? I don't even remember the play. It was some Broadway play that I went to go check out the set behind the scenes of. And that was, again, like an intriguing thing to me to get into that world. And so I started getting into stage lighting, and then quickly after that, I picked up a guitar. One of my best friends, Rob, had played guitar for a long time, and I just would like to go in his house and hang out and listen to him play. I was just like, I could be satisfied just hearing him play by himself. He wasn't playing acoustic like singer-songwriter. It was like pretty technical stuff. And just from there, that's how it came about. Just went from the lighting thing to getting into the guitar from there, and then picking it up and saying, I'll give it a shot. And then had a crappy plastic guitar that's probably, $50 thing I borrowed from my uncle, and then went out and bought my first guitar in New York City when I was like 17 years old. And
Would you go to Manny's, or did you go to
I did. I got my first guitar at Manny's, and it's like a Fender Telecaster, and one of the teachers in school was a musician and then managed some bands, and he brought me in there to kind of, show me the ropes, maybe not get ripped off. And yeah, so it was good.
It's very cool that somebody did that for you.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the right stuff when you're starting out.
Yeah.
So somebody's not trying to
Yeah, and then from there, went into the guitar teching thing. I started playing guitar, and as I was doing lighting and working for bands, when I graduated high school, I started working, lied about my age, started working in clubs around New York and New Jersey. And I first went to a lighting company, and then they said, you can start tomorrow. There's a new band. They fired the lighting guy, and this is how you do this. And I had some knowledge of it. And, I got acclimated pretty quick to whatever their rig was. And then somebody said, how old are you? And I said, I think I was 17 or 18. At the time, I had like a full beard. Maybe I was a pretty big guy. And like, what? There's no way you're gonna be working in clubs. You can't do it. They got another guy. He flaked, and they called me back like 2 hours before the gig. And it was what was a club band? I think it was called Ray Anderson and the Fire. Was the first band I ever worked for. Some covers band. But from there, just met more and more people, and eventually led to meeting the Fishbone guys from a friend of a friend or a work colleague that knew that they were in town at CBGB's one night in Manhattan. They were firing 2 guitar techs, and they wanted to have a new guitar tech, and I wanted to pick that up. Never did it before. I just was around the guitar and said, I'd rather be around guitar than lights, so just took it from there.